Hey everyone, we are back with part 2 of our Conan playthrough. We just defeated Bone Cleaver on the Barachan Islands. We have received our gauntlet, which was taken from us and, sort of exploded off of us by Graven at the very beginning of the game. And we have just gotten access to the Song of Death. We're now in Stygia, I believe. How we got there is unimportant. But let's go ahead and get started. So the Song of Death is a secondary resource beneath our health, which you'll see in the upper left-hand corner. And the meter fills through attacking and parrying. And once it is full, you will get access to the Song of Death, which essentially puts this red glow on your weapons, weapon or weapons, and there you go. And allows you to slice things up really, really good. Here we are introduced to lions. Lions are by far and away one of the most annoying enemies in the game. They have no hit stun, so when you hit them, they cannot be stunned out. They will just continue to attack all the freaking time. They're like brain dead enemies, and they're really freaking annoying.
A dead end.
That's true, Roman Conan. So here we are introduced to the Song of Death. We hack up these dudes here.
Devil, hell.
Oh, and that's it. So we're Song of Deathy. Our weapons have this awesome red glow. I actually really like the way the Song of Death looks. We are hacking off arms at breakneck speeds. Break arm speeds, more like it. And that's it. That is all it takes. This is our final dude. And he does not last long. So cool, that's the Song of Death. We also, you'll see, probably notice that as we knocked on this pillar, we have access to a new health rune triumvirate. So we're going to get that. Also, a lot of levels in this game, you will be forced to play with one specific weapon for a while. That is not cool. We really want the two-handed weapon just because it gives us access to King's Execution, which you may remember from the last game allowed us to slice people up. So we actually have that right here in our broadsword. But I want to show you guys one of the things that you'll be doing if you want to master one-handed weaponry is throwing away your two-handed weapon. And you can do that right there fairly easily just by hitting R2. This will grant us access to the Rune Triumvirate. Whoopsies. Rolled down there completely by accident. Yeah, completely by accident. We also have this guy here. And there's a frickin' lion back there. So I forgot to mention, what was so important about this dodging in between attacks is that the lions, who are really freaking annoying, as I mentioned, they will only attack if you attack them. In most cases, as I mentioned in the previous bit of the playthrough, enemies are super passive until you are a threat, until you are actually attacking. So the lions are super easy to defeat if you know that. So you'll just, if you do want to land King's Execution, which is by far and away the fastest way to defeat them, you will hit Y, you'll dodge, and then follow up the rest of the combo as they are attacking the space you just were. So the other way. You dodge right before the attack hits, and you clean up. It's really easy, really fun. I think you can typically get a Song of Death here. I love it. I love just carving dudes up. Yeah, no Song of Death this time, I don't think.
Face crop.
Oh shoot, I didn't know you could do that. So excuse me, I forgot that you could do that. So what we did there is we had used Y, we had used our heart attack to, sort of impale that dude
What are these
on the
men doing
ground.
here?
And in doing that, we'd actually hit Y, and if you roll and hit X, you get access to the King's Execution String, which is super cool. Okay, so now we have Song of Death, and we don't need to worry about anything, because everything falls at our feet if we do it correctly. So we just carve those guys up like a Thanksgiving turkey. We can grab a little health from these jars. And that's it. We're on to the next area. And more frickin' lions. Well, that's not true. Right after this room, we'll be on to more lions, I believe. Let's see if we can get another Song of Death here. So, a tip for you guys, if you're playing this game casually and you just want to finish it,
That sculpture is broken in two.
a fairly easy way to do that is to sort of game the AI. It's not difficult to do at all. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to attack an enemy once, wait a second, and then parry. Like, that is all you need to do to beat this game. All enemies do, like, fall into that trap. Depending on the weapon you're using, they can be a little more difficult to deal with. But in most cases, you can do that to every single enemy in the game. It's awesome. It's really fun. I've always kind of enjoyed gaming the system in cool ways, and like this way kind of takes the cake. It works for, yeah, like I said, almost all enemies, and if you're having trouble, that's a really good way to sort of just avoid any complications as you're running through this game. Granted, this game is now 11 years old, so unless you're a glutton for punishment or unpolished gaming experiences, I don't see why you'd be picking this up. However, if you are a fan of really robust and satisfying combat, I would definitely, I can absolutely suggest it. I have been playing the living crap out of this game for, I don't know if I'm at 100 hours yet, but I'm definitely over the 6 or 7 it took to beat it on the first try. I think it took me maybe 6 hours to beat on the first go around. Cool. So here's the Den of Secrets, I like to call it. I think that's what it's called in the Latin. The thing that comes up out of the ground, the tiger that swallows him. So here we have more lions, and that is how you defeat lions. For whatever reason, it's kind of strange. The lions will not attack once you are coming down with the final hit of King's Execution. I don't know why. Let's see if we can do this a little later. Yeah, I honestly, I couldn't tell you why they don't. Maybe they sense death incoming and they're like, well, I accept my fate. I couldn't tell you. But we are on to the next area after those annoying freaking lions. This game, this part is actually kind of cool because you do get your first look at at this level's boss, the Sand Dragon. It is frankly, a really tedious experience if you are playing this game casually. I think you can knock these guys off the edge. We're not gonna wait and see if we can. Come on. There you go. So the Sand Dragon is, you could tell they are definitely going for like a God of War kind of thing. There it is right there. It's kind of outside. You can actually knock these guys out the windows to let them get chomped on by the Sand Dragon. We didn't get that this time. But yeah, you could tell they went for sort of like the huge boss fight thing. And in the end, this boss is just remarkably tedious. It's fairly easy to beat. But if this is your first playthrough and you don't know all the the intricacies of its blind spots and stuff like that, it can be a really frustrating boss, especially since the I don't know, its mechanics are so strange. Like I said, they don't attack outside of when they're about to get sliced up by the King's Execution. Oh, that looked awesome. And because of the no hit stun, they just attack whenever. Unless that's coming down, unless King's Execution. So you can tell when they're going to do that, because their like eyes like turn yellow. Bop. Cool. Jars are your friend if you are worried about your health. I'm not super worried. In most cases, this is just a really easy game. You should never really be in any danger of dying.
I need to get on
I actually ended up playing this level previously, and then it didn't record my voice, so I'm playing it again. I typically don't save. I never make any saves because the checkpoints in this game are so forgiving. Plus, it means I can play from a blank slate, or at least every time I'll be playing the level fresh, in case I do mess up and die, or not die, but I do, the recording does mess up. This is another example of sort of the unpolished. This thing is clipped into the wall. Nice job, THQ Nordic. I believe that those are the people who worked on this game. There's our sand dragon. This is going to be the dude that is causing us issues. And here we've got a beautiful parry. Make the dude swallow our sword, and then rip it out of him like a badass. What do you think? I thought he was going to fall down, and then I was going to suggest we go down. We run all the way back around to get him. Oh, the double King's Execution. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Cool. Okay, so we are now entering the realm of Conan the Prophet. That's not true. That's a little bit later. Cool. So we have this little sequence here where we get to make water. Oh, so there's the priest, like whatchamacallit. Okay. We'll do this and then we'll go down and take them out. So the priests, the two-handed enemies in this game, or in this particular level, they have. You know what? I didn't even show off their weapon. So they have sort of these poleaxe spear things. We'll pick one up from the next guy we lay low. But they have a sort of thrusting green projectile attack. They don't use it a ton, but when they do, it really messes up combos. Oh, I love it. So let's toss this. Toss it like a badass, and now we'll pick up this bad boy. I'm not actually sure if this has better range. It looks like it has better range than that sort of broadsword we were using. Oh, he dodged above it. He leapt over it. Doesn't matter. We're Conan the Barbarian. Like I mentioned, these guys, they barely attack if you're not attacking them.
Die!
And that is their loss, because then they carved up. So we're into a little wall platforming and some avoiding of the water. We're gonna get ourselves some treasure chests here, so we can get some more red runes. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what I want to show off aside from how broken this can be, how broken dual wielding and the King's Execution attack can be on enemies. But let's see, is there anything cool that I might want to show off? We have 1,000 red runes to spend. Outlaw's Hilt is 600 into the Bloody Crown. So Outlaw's Hilt is just you smash the hilt of your weapon into an enemy's head. It decapitates most weak enemies, which is great. Gives you a little health. The Bloody Crown then essentially just is the King's Execution really strong overhead strike, which is pretty cool. You know what? We are gonna do the Stygian Skewer into the Stygian Skewer Fling. It's actually super fun. So we'll buy that. We'll show that off in a little bit. So we're gonna wait. The water will flow out and knock you off if you attempt to go. What we are going to do though is after making it here, we're actually going to try to skip waiting on this second part. I think the timing isn't super tight. I think we missed it there. Yeah, we missed it. But you can actually make it past all of them. You can make it past the third water spout. So we're gonna try that because I think it's cool, and it's actually a fairly cool time skip. Again, if I ever end up running this game, that's something that I will definitely try on my runs. I think it saves about 8 to 10 seconds. Cool. So we got it our second try. That's awesome. It's actually not worth.
Spill your guts, cat.
Oh, Conan knows. Cool. So that's one of those weird occasions where if you're like attacking and then you move forward and you're airborne for half a second, you end up doing a freaking aerial attack, and it's really annoying. And in this small corridor, fighting a lion can be really annoying. Okay, so now, as if one lion wasn't enough, we get to fight 2 lions.
More cats?
Because what could be cooler than fighting one really annoying enemy? Definitely fighting 2. I just want to land my King's Execution. Bop. Oh, did I not? Did I think I did? So that was nice. 2 huge health drops. Okay, so now we have like a, I can't really call this a puzzle, but you have to stand on these 3 guys here, and this thing will. I've yet to be able to jump on that. I should probably make a save because I'm pretty sure you can do that. I also need to practice the water skip, which I think would be useful.
Let prom judge you.
Cool. So we are going to pull this chain, which will do something with the water. I'm not quite sure.
Do the trick.
It makes it shoot in intervals as opposed to flow constantly. It will allow us access to that door and the mouth of the Den of Secrets, where we can shut off the water and then reach the boss fight, where we can take on the Sand Dragon. Excuse me. Now the Sand Dragon is actually a very easy boss if you know its patterns. It like is super easy. Oh, did we not? We didn't get that. So the first phase is really easy. Like really easy. All you need to do is stand in the left corner, dodge when it attacks, because if it opens its mouth in a very specific way, you will get hit. But that's generally a safe area, and then just wail on him with King's Execution.
Now I can get up top.
So this is kind of interesting, and I don't really want to try it because it's game breaking. Okay, so for whatever reason, this staircase has invisible hitboxes that you cannot leap over no matter what. I have though triggered a glitch in which I jumped from that second level and got stuck on top of the invisible hitbox, and I was trying to figure out whether or not I could sort of like move around and beat some triggers and get over here and skip some stuff. Haven't been able to replicate it. Would be kind of cool to see if it's possible. Okay, so a couple of tips for the Sand Dragon. You can, it only does this, it only attacks in a couple of bites, and if you stand as close as you can to the screen, so you're right here, we can't get any closer, it will never be able to hit you. So that's cool if you're, you know, taking a bunch of damage and you're not a big fan. You just come all the way out here and reset yourself and try not to worry about it. Cool. So this is actually where we're going to stand, and then we're going to dodge this way, and I want you to watch how much health it takes off. The King's Execution, I'm telling you, man, it is the best attack in the game. And we got a little greedy there. We tried to hit it again. That's cool. So one more hit, and it's down. So if you are using other weapons, say you're doing one-handed because you want access to the shield, or you're using two-handed because you really like the sustained DPS. There are other ways to beat it that are, those strats work the exact same. We are now running. It is destroying everything in its attempt to get back at us for chopping its face up. And a really good way to do a nice healthy chunk of damage here is to immediately charge up your King Strike, or your oh, so it gets new attacks each time, each new phase. Also, again, if you are standing as far away as possible, it cannot hit you. Let's see if we can get bait out its other attack. Cool. So this actually takes a long time. You just wait, hit B, and it doesn't do too much damage, to be honest. But you can kind of bait out that thing. It has access to free attacks. The whatever that is, the sort of charge up attack. Bop. And again, you never need to worry about it hitting you as long as you come out here. The only thing you'll need to worry about is that sort of tongue strike. And, whatever. I love the fact that you can chop King's Execution. What up? So, that was a really suboptimal way to kill it. I just wanted to show off that you can be safe if you want to, and if you're worried about dying. Don't be. It's really not that big a deal.
Die, you cur!
That guy is going to get clocked, I think, by our good friend the dragon, so it busts in here and is annoying. One thing you have to kind of wait for him to come all the way over here. You can hit him in this case. I don't believe that it actually does any damage. And let's see if we can hit him. Yeah, that was dumb. So I don't believe that it actually records any of that damage for this next phase. I haven't tested that a lot, but let's see if it has any damage done to it. You can block this normally, and it actually did it just hurt itself because right at that was kind of weird. So he always does the same thing here. He smashes his head into the ground. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Okay, so it turns out that if you are as far to the right here as possible, he actually can't hit you. Which is awesome, because then it just allows us to do this. Okay, never mind. I've actually managed to beat this guy in a 2-cycle. So that was freaking awesome. He does this twice after he returns from, and I have no idea how to block that damage or avoid it if he decides that he's going to attack in that area. It's really freaking annoying. Let's see if we can get him again before he... Cool. So again, just stand on the right, and that's actually a common theme for the rest of these phases. You stand on the left for the first one, you just kind of battle around for the second one. You stand on the right for the third phase, and you stand on the right for the fourth phase. I'll show you a little bit what I mean. So we're... Oh! And we just fell off that guy. I can't say that's never happened before, but it definitely hasn't happened to me in the recent past. That was a thumb flub. Don't know what to say. It's a little embarrassing. We just walked off the edge of that statue. So again, checkpoints really forgiving in this game. You'll just you'll spawn right at the bottom of the. There you go.
I can't stay here.
Let's not do that again. So we're gonna get the treasure chest again. More red runes are great. Oh, and the reason that I didn't show off our new move, the Stygian Skewer, is because I totally forgot that I had got it. Okay, so actually, Conan succumbs to death. That has happened before. So in this game, oddly enough, if you are too close to a wall that you're trying to jump up on, if you are too close sometimes, Conan will jump up to the ledge. He will not grab it. He will bounce off further than he was jumping normally.
I can't stay here.
This has actually happened to me quite a few times. It hasn't killed me ever in that case, like just happened there. but I have been attempting to
I
grab
need more
walls,
stable ground.
and because Conan is too close, he will then. I just did that one on purpose. Just did it on purpose. I think now I'm a little nervous and I'm like trying to play this perfectly. Um, I've jumped up and hit the ledge and then fallen backwards, and not been able to climb up until I tried again. It's not like it's a glitch that breaks the game. Um, so this next phase, if I ever reach it, you will you'll just do the exact same thing. You'll stay to the right of the monster,
I can't stay
and
here.
that's it. It's super easy. Um, it's actually though this stage is not at all into. You know what? We're just gonna wait until I get to the top. I'm just gonna skip forward because that's super embarrassing, and I swear I'm pretty good at this game. Yeah, yeah, we're just gonna skip whatever. Because who wants to listen to me talk while I just load this a million times? I swear to gosh, I do this fight all the time. I have a save point. I never die on this part. And I have died, what is that, 4 times now?
I can't
Let's see
stay
what we got.
here.
Let's see if we get, you know what, let's join me for one last uh, attempt to climb up this thing. So
I need
everything's
more
shattering
stable
around us.
ground.
The sand dragon is coming. I think we're gonna be okay. Alright, so this part we have to first knock this thing down. This is actually like the arm of a statue or something. You have to hit it 3 times. That's not super clear, like at all when you play this. Like, I don't think in any point in this game you actually like needed to destroy a barrier before. So again, um, super easy. He can't hit you like at all. So you can end this in like 2 combos. Like that's it. Um, but you're not done. You might think you're done. But again, another non-intuitive thing. You have to run over to this bad boy, crank this stone up, and then, of course, he recovers in time to fight again. So all you do is rinse and repeat, avoid this, whatever that is. So he can't hit you with a tongue, sorry. So he can't hit you with like his melee, so snaps. And he can hit you with this, but who cares? So we're gonna kill him right here. Easy as pie. He falls down and you have to quickly crank this bad boy up. And, well, that's the end of the level. So, if you don't spend a fudge ton of time dying on the statue climbing portion, this is a really simple boss fight. If you play it for the first time casually, though, it's not fun. It's only fun to me because it's fun to optimize and, speed run basically. But upon killing the sand dragon, we get access to our second gauntlet, our second piece of armor, which unlocks the stone prison, a new armor
power
ability.
surged through Conan's body. He was pulled back into the distant
Yeah,
past.
and then you get some story.
He saw 2 brothers.
In case you guys really want, like, if you guys want me to
Last
do,
descendants of an ancient race.
to be honest, I don't want to watch this. The
They
story's
were
just, it's bad.
guardians,
There's a white
entrusted
good
with the
god
most
kind of
ancient
guy
of
and a
Earth's
bad
magic.
black god kind of guy, and
They had
it's
taken
not worth watching. Okay, cool. So that was it. That was the sand dragon boss in stage 2, and we are going to keep trundling on. We're gonna keep going, and stay tuned for part 3. Okay, later, gang.